I receive lots of promos of albums, and you can totally tell people are using just the default template in the plugins, and some of these albums sound identical. You don't sound like that, but because you put effort into the mix and all that other stuff. But a lot of these other bands that will send me stuff, and some of these bands are on record labels. I'm not going to go and start naming anybody off, but what happens is you can listen. Okay, these guys use the same guitar plugin package that this other band did.
Exactly.
And
so everybody's
a lot of that.
Everybody who owns this guitar package sounds the same in the same way,
Or the same
That's
drums.
very boring. Yeah,
the same
drums, everything. Yeah, exactly. And the same bass. For Tune Tricks, you get the bass player right now. You get a digital bass player for Tune Tricks. You get the digital drummer. You got the digital guitar player. Maybe you get sometimes the digital singer. I don't know. And this is another development in the future that's horrible. You can. Last week, I got a fan. He said, "Oh my God, I expected more power metal stuff on this record." And I said, "Hey, in a couple of years, you can use your Zuno AI app and make your own stuff with it. You don't need musicians anymore. You don't need bands anymore. Make your own stuff with the AI apps." I don't know the name, Suno or whatever it's called. And the results are really, really cool. I was shocked about the results. Sounds great. Maybe this is my future. I just gave my voice for a couple of money to the AI developers to writing songs with this or whatever, Maybe this is the future. Like the photographs already got, Adobe Photostocks or these stuff. The people who are learning photograph or working with a camera, they're just making photos and just sending it to Adobe Photostocks, and they are making money with it, and so they get a fee from it, and that's the way they earn money. Maybe this is the future for musicians too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you go to Photoshop and I do photography, I can type into Photoshop and just type in a sentence of what I want, and it'll generate it.
It's unbelievable, huh?
Maybe not the exact image I want, but you could always generate it and then you tweak it.
But it's close. But it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's it's some pretty crazy stuff. Or where you hear Ronnie James Dio singing a Michael Jackson song or something or crazy stuff. You ever see people do that?
Everything is possible in the future. Yeah. Everything is possible. Exactly. Or Michael Jackson is singing "Coming Home" from Axxis.
Yeah.
That's wow, great, unbelievable.
Yeah, but they somehow
that sounds cool. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's funny because, and I'm just using that as a crazy example, but I've seen it where they've had certain singers singing on albums. Like what would they sound like if they sang on a song written by this person or whatever, what would Bruce Dickinson sound like on a Stevie Wonder song or something crazy stuff? It's you'll see on YouTube some people will post, and I don't know if that's really happened or not. But
it's possible. Everything what's possible can happen.
Correct. Yeah. And we have to wonder, if you're someone that's a pretty big name singer and someone's doing this, you got to think to yourself, would I really sound like this on there? And some of it, you can kind of tell it's totally fake, and some of it sounds real, right? I mean, it's and there's people. I think people are growing up now, not knowing the difference.
That's a problem.
It's kind of like I was discussing this on another interview. We were talking about how now the way people don't listen to music like I did, or growing up, or you did. Where
exactly. Yeah.
You had a really, really nice sound system. Like in a room.
Yeah.
Now they're listening to it on earbuds. And
exactly.
And I think a lot of these bands, when they go and they record some of these albums and use some of these same plugins, I don't think a lot of people can tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing is, for example, we are coming from the vinyl record
correct. Yeah.
century, and if you listen to a vinyl record, you have to listen to all the songs in a kind of set list or a kind of row on this record. And so you have to listen to the songs maybe you don't like, or you discover something that you like more than the song that you expected on the record or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you need your time and need your 30 minutes for one side to listen to the whole record. And then you have to change the the vinyl record on the turntable, and you listen to the B side. Yeah. And today all the people are just collecting. I was on a party a couple of days before, and there was the guy who said, "Hey, there are so many great songs out there with Spotify, and listen to this, and listen to that, and he never heard the whole song. He's just playing to up to the chorus, and that's it. Only the chorus, and then he stopped, and the next song, and the next song, and the next song, and the next song. It was just kind of collecting and showing what is on how many files you have on your drive, but that's it. No, I don't know, no working or just listening to the music, no discovering the music. For example, when we record our music, it's on one hand, it should sound very easy, but on the other hand, if you listen to it and with a headphone or on a good sound system, you can discover a lot of things in the background, what's going on. Some maybe a drum loop or another guitar or a melodic line in the background that is only in the reverb, hidden in the reverb sound in the background, and whatever. You can discover a lot of things. That's what I really love when I listen to, for example, Pink Floyd. When I was young, it was so many different things happen in the background that while you hearing the songs for the first time, you don't discover it, and then you go into the music, you listen to it, drinking your beer, smoking your cigarette, and then you discover a lot of sounds in the background, and that's what I really love in music. But today it's different. The people are just collecting files on their drive, and Spotify, for example, you don't have a kind of what do you say? A kind of what is the word in? You just have to. Just give me a chance. My English sometimes. Reihenfolge in Germany. The order.
Okay.
An order on the record. That's what I mean. The order. In Germany we say Reihenfolge. That's a very, very long word for this order. That's the reason why I'm searching for the word. And Spotify, you just get Coming Home, then you got Iron Maiden, then you got this song, then you got Judas Priest. You don't have this Blackest Vision, Coming Home, Atlantica order. What we got on the vinyl record or on the digipack on the CD. That's sometimes I think it's a problem. Yeah, not a problem, but I think it's I think that was in my time better.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, we come from the same time, basically, and it's interesting you say that, because then you'll get people that they'll be on Spotify, but then you see more and more people buying vinyl.
Yeah,
and it's
that's interesting. That's right.
Yeah, and it's a younger generation, and they're going through the order of the songs. They'll go from Spotify, where it's kind of like chaos, and then you go to the vinyl record, you put it on, and they'll listen to the entire thing. I mean, it is kind of crazy these days, the way how they'll go from one thing
the
to
opposite.
Another.
Exactly. They want to go in the other direction because they don't like this kind of using music. Just it's boring. On one hand, it's boring. And even my daughter bought a turntable and buy some vinyl records, and I was very positively shocked about this thing. And she's sitting there with a boyfriend there and just listening to music on a vinyl record. That's great. Good development.
I mean, my son is 17 years old. Guess what? He has a huge. I don't think he owns 17. I don't think he owns a CD. He literally has a huge collection of vinyl records.
Yeah, great.
And listens to them. But then we'll go on Spotify and do exactly what we just talked about. Go from one song to the other. It's so it's kind of like it's
consuming music.
You go from one end to the other, and it's crazy. It's crazy how the vinyl thing has kind of sort of taken off a little bit, and has been increasing, even though the prices of it have gone up. I mean, more and more people are buying the stuff, and I always thought that that was shocking. I was asking people that. I mean, I like vinyl. Don't get me wrong, but I was asking people what is the appeal, right? Because I had to ask. I thought, why are people? I mean, you have people that will, take their phone. They have everything in here, and then they go and listen to a vinyl record. And I think the biggest thing that was what was said to me is that for whatever reason, and this is what the reason many people gave to me, is that one, the artwork is there. It's big. You got something.
That's right.
It's something you can. That's like you could hold on to. And what's nice is that when you put it on, usually you'll have a stereo setup. You'll have speakers, amp, preamp, whatever you have, turntable. And for whatever reason, people, when they're home, they like to listen to music that way. It's
exactly. Yeah.
And they don't buy even CDs. They're buying they're using a vinyl record, and then what happens? And a lot of record labels have done something very similar to this. It's a very smart thing. If you go out, you buy the vinyl record, they give you a download code to listen to it digitally, and it's it's kind of like eliminated, right? And so you see a lot of that.
But that's a good combination. I think that's a good combination to just release a vinyl record for a amount of money, and then you got a kind of link for streaming or whatever file. That's a cool thing. But I think, imagine when we're growing up, when you got the first Kiss cover, Kiss Alive 2, you know, and you just put it up and you just get this huge stage in the middle of this cover, you know, with his flames and with his bombs, and Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley were standing there, and I was shocked. It was great. Imagine you got Spotify in this period. Nothing. You cannot. It's it's boring. You know, just or even our cover on Coming Home. It's a great cover in my opinion. And if you just saw it on a small screen, you know, in this very small size, I think it's disappointing. In my opinion.
There was no streaming. Imagine, you know, back when I was younger, you had to. There was no streaming. The only way you listen to a band is to buy a CD, take a chance on it. Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah. That's how I got into you guys. But I remember there was a record label. There was a band from Europe that I absolutely loved, and I wanted to hear something off the new album. I pre-ordered it, but there was no distribution. So in order to even get anything, you know, to even get their albums over here, you had to import them. I mean, I know that sounds crazy now, but late 90s, early 2000s, that's how it was. And I remember the first MP3 that was ever sent to me took me 45 minutes to download it.
Yeah. You got these modems started.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I can tell you what band it was. So the band. So it was Virgin Records, I believe. And it was a song off of a Blind Guardian album. And I remember getting the song off of that album. It was a song off of Nightfall, Middle Earth, and I'll never forget taking 45 minutes to download like a 6-minute song back in those days. You know, and that was the first time, and it was like it was inconceivable that you would do something like that. Yeah. And then to be able to even listen to it, you had to have a special player. You had to download something. I mean, it was crazy. Correct, and I think that is essentially that's what happened. I mean, it was nuts, but definitely the times have changed for much differently, you know. So
but I think there are a lot of advantages in Spotify. You can discover a lot of things. I think it's wonderful. I think it's not a bad development. And what I really love is what you said, that the people are coming back to, or even young people are coming back to the vinyl records, and a lot of movements in other directions right now. And that's what I really love. It's cool. Times are very interesting right now.